What's up, gamers? And today I want to tell you about the 5 best rerun characters you should be pulling for in Zenless Zone Zero. Going over pros and cons for all these characters. These are going to be must-have characters that you definitely want to be getting when they come up for rerun. Starting off at number 5, first guys, Miss Caesar King herself, which happens to be running on the banner in version 2.0, guys. Now, the reason why I say this is kind of a hot take that most people would say, right? Well, she's been losing value. She's not as good as some of the 4 stars in the game. I think she's going to get a lot more valuable. We'll go over that in a second here, guys. Because number 1 pro, I think there will be a more emphasis on defensive characters in the upcoming patch. We already see more characters that are healing you, so that already puts more emphasis on defense and healing you back up and keeping the team alive more. But I do think there will be an overall increase on like deflecting damage being taken, stuff like that. More emphasis on defense characters specifically because we haven't really seen characters play or match up well with current defensive characters in the game, because all we have in the game right now is Seth, Caesar King, and Ben Biggerton, then I guess the new character coming to the game, the big Panda Man, right? So hopefully we do see more emphasis on these defensive-esque characters, maybe something that plays off a shield, I don't know, but realistically I do think we will see something that helps defensive characters out more because they have been forgotten, and honestly I do think it is the worst quote-unquote class in the game. Next, guys, she offers you a huge attack buff. Don't worry about the numbering mishap here, I didn't realize it until just now. Anyways, huge attack buff, guys. She gives 1,000 attack buff for practically free, and it's up basically at all times. She also gives res down as well, meaning she decreases the resistance of enemies. This only lasts for a couple seconds, and you do have to time this up correctly, and the enemies have to be within a certain range. So there's a lot of like prerequisites to this, but the fact is she can do it, right? She's a pseudo stun character, meaning she can stun the enemies fast if you're timing her up correctly. There's a bit of technical work you need to actually do that, and then finally interrupts, guys. This means she can interrupt animation, so if the character is going off like Jane Doe, for example, she can bang bang, and then she fucking takes a big dick or something. I don't know, man. She gets fucked, okay? Literally, not literally. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and hop into the cons now. Number 1 con, the days relies on assist points and timing. So you really need to be using assist points to really get the days up on the enemy. This means you have limited times to use this because you only have about 5 of them, I think. So after those 5, you have to wait till they're back up. Number 2, guys, she is very lacking on the team she can currently work in, and that's because of the fact that she is physical, something to collide on, and she is a defense character. Most characters now work with support characters or attack characters or type or something like that, right? But mainly support stun characters, right? With her not being those two, she gets kind of cucked, fucked, and sucked. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So for now, I think that it's an issue. I think in the future it'll get better because I do think this patch will start playing or integrating more of these defensive characters into the mix. Now, finally, guys, she is a defensive character and not a support. That's kind of like the same thing we said here. Yeah, defensive characters really do get the short end of the stick just because of the fact they don't have very many matchups they can work with in terms of team comps and activating additional abilities. Number 2 on our list here, guys, is going to be Miss Burnice, the secondary, the princess of sub DPS. Let's say that, right? And the reason I say that, guys, is she is a sub DPS that really doesn't need much on-field time, which is absolutely amazing, meaning she can be off the field and do like 90% of her damage, which is great. That means you can do more damage with your main DPS while getting great amounts of sub DPS out with her, right? Next, she is very good for disorder teams, all those juicy disorder teams that are probably going to be played more into now this patch than ever before. Now, the only problem I have with this is if we get another fire type anomaly character, it might not work as well with them, but with every other type she works well with, right? And then, like I said before, guys, strong sub DPS damage, we absolutely love it. And then mobile players rejoice. She doesn't have to be on the field. You go in, a fucking hit skill, and then get her the fuck out of there, and then she's good to go. Now, on to the cons here. Number 1 con, she is more prone to power creep due to the lack of uniqueness. Really, her whole kit revolves around her heat meter and doing just damage based off that heat meter, right? She is very much so like a good sub DPS in terms of the damage she does, but that's very easy to get power creep. She doesn't have like any uniqueness outside of being a sub DPS, if you get what I mean, right? So if we do get released a better sub DPS, which I already think there is one in the game right now, she will get power creeped just like that. She does less damage than Vivian. I think you already know who's coming next. But yes, overall, I do think she does less damage as a sub DPS than Vivian, because Vivian can proc Bloom off, which gives you an absolute shit ton of damage, and it's very unique to Vivian. So that makes her kind of obsolete in a way there. And then resource management. You have to make sure you're managing your heat meter, which can be kind of annoying at times. Hopping into the next character, number 3 on our list, which is Miss Vivian Chan. I love Vivian so much. I'm a Vivian glazer till the day I die, but that doesn't mean that she is bad just because I'm glazing her, right? She is number 3 on the list. She's not number 1, guys. Come on. But let's start off with the pros first here, guys. First, she's an on and off field anomaly sub DPS, meaning she can be on field and help you out. She can be off field, help you out. You can see this cutie patootie basically at all times, right? And she's also offering you good sub DPS levels of damage. Number 2, guys, she scales with anomaly on the team, meaning if you get a better anomaly character that does more anomaly damage, she will get better. It's like a Kafka in a sense, right? Kafka from Honkai Star Rail gets better with the more DOT you're able to put on the enemy. Just the same thing as her, guys. The more damage you put on enemies, the more damage she'll do, right? So she grows with the better DPS that comes to the game. She already has a very strong baseline of damage. Like if you want to run her as a main DPS, like she can work there. And I do think her baseline of damage is a bit stronger than Burnice's. And then finally, guys, she is a better option than Yanagi in my opinion. Yeah, I genuinely think Yanagi has some pretty bad energy issues unless you have her signature W engine. You don't need a signature W engine. I never ran into energy issues with her. And then also she can proc off disorders pretty easily as well with Bloom. So overall, hey, I think that she is better than Yanagi. And I definitely run her over Yanagi in my Miyabi team. Now let's go ahead and hop into the cons here, guys. First of all, she relies on Anomaly main DPS. Like I said, she can be a main DPS. It's not very optimal. So yes, she relies on your Anomaly main DPS, meaning if you don't have one, or your Anomaly main DPS is doing shit Anomaly damage, her damage drops along with that. So keep that in mind for when you're pulling for her or if you want to pull for her in the future. Next up here, guys, is you need some skill to maximize her effectiveness, meaning you want to be quick assisting, chain attacking, defensive assisting, everything like that to make sure you're getting the absolute most out of her blooms and getting as many blooms as possible for free so you're not running into energy issues. And that kind of leads us into here, resource management. Her blooms can run out really fast. Like if you have her on a Miyabi team, them bitches are gone like that, okay? So you want to make sure you're managing her resources correctly and playing her correctly so she is able to keep those up at all times because that is her main source of damage. Now, guys, let's go ahead and move on to number 2. But before we do that, guys, come here. Hit the subscribe button right now, gamers. We're trying to push 10,000 by the end of the year. 2.0's on the way. You want to know what characters to pull. You want to know how to build these characters. You want more ZZZ content. Surely. So subscribe to the channel now. I'd really appreciate it. And now let's get back to the video and number 2 on this list, which is going to be Mr. Lighter-san. Yes, guys, he is absolutely massive for your fire and ice type characters because he gives huge buffs and debuffs for fire and ice allies. So if you have any of those, hey, you're good. Miyabi, fucking, hey, yo, amazing. Hey, yo, and Ellen Jo too now with her buff? Even better. Holy shit. Anyways, fucking massive buffs here, guys. Honestly, I feel he is more of a support than a stunner, but I always get fought to the death telling me that's not the case. Anyways, next up here, guys, he extends stunner timer, which means he's really good for Hugo. Also, that means you keep the enemy stunned for longer, meaning you can do more damage because that multiplier for the stun meter is up for longer as well. So fucking massive there. Minimal on-field time. He's very bursty. That means you come onto the field, you do his burst of damage, you get him the fuck off the field, you get your buffs, you get your debuffs, and then he breaks the enemy as fast as he can while he's on the field, right? And next, he's easy to play, bro. Pop on the field, you hit skill, and then fucking spam attack, and then get off the field. That's all you do. Number 1 con, though, he can struggle with stun, because if you don't have all of his resources up when you're getting him on the field, he's not doing much stun. He's very front-loaded in terms of stun, so energy, your blaze meter, or whatever the meter is called, where you can do your fast punches, he's very reliant on that. If you don't have that, his stun capabilities do drop quite a bit. Now, number 2 here, guys, no support out of fire and ice. If you don't have fire or ice characters in your team, buddy, hey, fucking COOKED. You really need, I don't know why I put 4-star, 5-star, or S-rank W engine, which you can actually get for free this patch, and we'll have a video coming out in the near future talking about what W engine you should select. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you get notified when that video comes out, but he really does need a 5-star W engine to actually function properly. His value does drop a lot without that 5-star W engine, and honestly, you do need the impact for it, because honestly, if you're not hitting the impact threshold, basically his buffs drop by a fuck ton in what they can do. And that being said here, yeah, Sig or the Lycon W engine would work for him really well. Now let's hop into our queen. Number 1 on the list here, guys. I think you should know who it is. Astra Yao, the absolute best buffer in the game, and there is no doubt about it. So, number 1, guys, she is the most universal support, meaning she can work in practically every single team in the game while giving you insane buffs and giving you healing, which will be playing into the future meta. So, yes, your Yi will be loving Astra Yao quite a bit here. Next, she also offers you quick swaps for free and chain attacks, which if you have someone like Evelyn, chain attacks are much appreciated, and if you have characters that give you buffs to chain attacks. Oh, match made in fucking heaven, guys. And then finally, she can be kind of like a pseudo sub DPS. She puts her tremellos out, helps you build up Anomaly, and does some damage as well, but mainly for Anomaly, right? So she is kind of a does it all type of thing. The only con that I really have with Evelyn right now in the game is you can really run through energy if you don't play her correctly, because if you just keep swapping, your energy goes like that. And sometimes you can get into a loop where you have your main DPS out, and then you get enough energy, and you're trying to wait off for that little timer to end, the little blue timer to get the buff on the next person, then you end up quick swapping on accident, and you have to wait for the timer again using the character that doesn't do much damage. You can kind of get caught into a loop there with that. I've done it myself. I'm not that technically skilled at the game, so it's kind of down bad for me. But here, guys, are my 5 recommended characters that you should be pulling for, that being Caesar King, Burnice, Vivian, Lighter, and Astra Yao. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. Do you think there's any other characters that should have been on this list over someone else? Let me know that in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what your guys' thoughts are. But that's gonna do it, guys. See you guys later. Bye-bye. Love you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That was fucking cringe.